All right, hey everybody, and welcome to the low volume, high efficiency training webinar where we're going to teach you how to run effectively so that you can run less and actually achieve faster and better results. This is one that I'm super excited to do for a lot of reasons, and we'll get into that right away. Just real quick, this is completely live. You'll see a chat box on the side there, but it's also going to be recorded, so you might be watching this at a future date and you're watching a recording of it, and that's totally fine as well. So we're a company called Combat Fitness, and we've trained over 22,000 athletes to date through all of our various training programs, everything from body weight programs, strength training, kind of more one-on-one stuff, nutrition, and running, which is why you're here. You can see on the screen there, of those people, we've had quite a few go on to do some of the most difficult military selections and training phases in the world, and we are a military-owned company as well. So what I want to teach you today is about our low volume, high efficiency method of training that we have used to create unparalleled results for our athletes, specifically with our running. So this is a framework that we came up with, and we initially kind of just tested it on ourselves because we were sick of having to choose between running performance and then lifting and strength training. If that sounds familiar, go ahead and drop a yes in the chat. Yeah, okay, quite a few, right on. It seemed that if we wanted to get better at running, we had to run all the time at the expense of lifting, like gaining muscle mass, whatever, all the other important aspects of functional fitness, right? Like running and endurance is just one component. So this was something that obviously we absolutely hated, and, it was kind of the classic, there must be a better way. So eventually we had kind of this crazy idea and asked, like, what if we tried a new method of training where instead of focusing on volume, as in like hours or miles ran in a week, we just focused on efficiency? What if we tried to run as little as possible so that we could still lift weights, do CrossFit, MMA, whatever it is that we were doing, while still being fast, capable runners and reaping all the benefits of that, like the cardiovascular endurance and the lactate threshold? So we set on a path to craft a program that allowed us to run as few days per week as possible and with very short actual workouts. We tested this on ourselves, kind of making changes as we went, and then eventually we expanded to a few others, and we found that the success repeated itself over and over. Everyone who used what we now call our low-volume, high-efficiency method was able to run much less than they had before, and not only maintain their current fitness, but actually improved their running splits at a faster rate than they ever had before. If that sounds pretty cool, you can go ahead and drop another yes or something else in the chat box there. Yeah, okay, right on. I'd love to see that. So we tweaked our method over a couple of years, and we continued to test it on new people, sort of eventually expanding it to the point where it's now been used by thousands of people, all with great success. Some tactical athletes who have used our training framework have gone on, as I kind of mentioned earlier, to do a lot of the most difficult special forces selections, like BUD/S, which is used to select Navy SEALs and is home of the famous Hell Week, but again, as well as SFAS, MARSOC, British Royal Marines, SWIC, and a few more. We've also had athletes use this running system as cross-training while competing in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, used it for training for marathons, as their cardio source for bodybuilding prep, and even for training for and completing Ironman triathlons. So because you aren't running every day, you can still do all that other stuff. Doesn't that just make sense? This system works so well because it's so simple, and here's why. Obviously, the goal is hyper-efficient training, and we do this by using what we call a mixed interval system, consisting of 3 types of training days. And we found that the maximum performance curve lies around 3 to 4 sessions a week, generally, for the average person. We use a calculated and detailed mix of interval days, so multiple short, hard efforts, threshold workouts, sort of longer sustained efforts, and long, slow, easy days. We put a huge emphasis on rest and recovery, and we will never have our athletes running more than 4 days per week. Generally, it's only 3. Sometimes we'll stretch that out if they have a very specific goal, but it's almost always just 3 to 4 days a week, and that is it. Are you guys getting this? We've found that rest is almost just as important as the workouts themselves, sometimes even more important, and it's a huge priority to us. Through the thousands of athletes we have now had use our training system, we've found that any more than 4 runs per week, generally, is completely redundant, and in lots of cases, it's actually detrimental to performance. Any less than 3 runs a week and you fall into what's called a maintenance category, where you're not necessarily losing performance, but you're not really improving either. If you like the idea of seeing massive running improvements and never ever running more than 4 days a week, give me another yes in that chat box there. Yeah, most of you. I love that. I wish I had the time right now to go into the exact details and mixture of the entire training structure on our 3-month system, but I don't have time today to go kind of into all of that. Real quick here too, you can see just kind of some feedback of a few of our athletes. We've taken people, who, for example, one guy, he had COVID and he wasn't able to run 1 mile. He gained, I think, 90 pounds while he had COVID, wasn't able to even run a mile. We brought him back. By the end of a 3-month training block, he was running 2 miles again, having not been able to even really walk one. We've taken guys and dropped their 10K time by 10 minutes in 1 month. Standardized beep test scores we brought way down. We've got people up to marathon distances who hadn't run more than 10, 12 kilometers before. This really works. So as we recommend this method of training to other people, we often hear, this won't work for me. I'm not a runner. I'm not an athlete. I can already run a 35-minute 5 mile or a sub 20-minute 5K. Doesn't matter. I promise you, we have applied this framework to every type of athlete. And using this same system, again, as I mentioned, we have taken people all the way from the bottom of the fitness spectrum and brought them back up to using it to already elite athletes and dropping their marathon times for Ironman. For those of you who don't know what an Ironman is, it's a 4-kilometer swim or 3.8-kilometer swim, 180-kilometer bike, followed by a marathon. It's a triathlon. It's all done in 1 day. So we have used this across the entire spectrum of fitness. And it works for everyone, and it will work for you. We actually guarantee it, and more on that in a second. We've taken people who are scared shitless to go to basic training because they can't run 5 miles, and we've made them capable of running it in under 35 minutes. Imagine if you never had to worry about if your body was capable of performing a demanding task again. Like, really think about that. Maybe you're a law enforcement officer and you need to be able to fight after an exhausting 10-minute foot pursuit. Maybe you're going to ranger school and you need to spend a week rucking on no food or sleep. Maybe you just want to be very fit and healthy to live a long life and be healthy for your family and your kids or grandkids. The worst thing I can think of is being like the guy at basic training getting the whole course smoked again for coming in last place on the run again, or being rolled from police academy for failing a fitness test, or spending my whole life on the couch eating chicken wings, playing video games. Like, I don't know about you, but I do know for determined people like us, and if you're here watching this, I'm going to assume you fall into this category, fitness should never be a barrier. It should always be an asset. That's what we believe in, and that's what we do. We create high-performance tactical athletes. You just sort of see the structure there. Let me ask you a question real quick. So we've covered a lot of information in the last 10 minutes or so. How many of you guys are feeling like this right now? You can be honest. You can tell me in the chat. Yeah, okay, quite a few of you. In the Army, we call this the fire hose method, where it's a ton of knowledge, ton of information, kind of quicker than you can process it. I don't want you to leave feeling overwhelmed. I just wanted to show you what is actually possible and what you're all capable of and how simple it really can be. So we've actually put together something really special for you guys to lay out not only exactly how to use the low volume, high efficiency method, but every single workout is already constructed, articulated in great detail, and follows the exact training system we just talked about. Would you guys be okay if I spend the next 3 or 4 minutes talking about that? You can go ahead and drop a yes in the chat if that's cool. Okay, right on. Whole lot of you. Love to see that. Okay, thank you guys. So again, as much as we'd love to sit down with you guys and construct an entire training program on this webinar, we just don't have the time. So what we've created for you is a pre-made running program using a perfected mixture of interval training under the low volume, high efficiency framework. So when you join this program, you'll operate on a calculated structure of interval training, threshold work, and endurance days that all build and compound on each other. Okay, in plain terms, this is going to take you from where you are to where you need to be, and it's going to do an incredibly good job of that. Okay, this is the exact program that has been used by thousands of our athletes, many of whom to prepare for those world-class special forces and law enforcement selections that we touched on earlier. Okay, it's made by our run head coach, Nick Lehman. Nick is a absolute beauty. He's worked with Olympic and professional athletes. He's won a whole bunch of championships. And then since being a run coach with us, has personally trained around 250 people. I think it might be a little bit more. And lots of them have gone on to do some pretty cool stuff that we can't even mention on this. So you guys have the opportunity to train on this exact system. So normally a program like this would cost $200 to $300 a month, which honestly we feel is fair given the wealth of knowledge, experience, and time that goes into it. However, this is not how we operate. Our low volume, high efficiency running program, which is also statistically the best performing running program in the tactical fitness industry, is just $249 one time. That's it. But when you sign up today, we won't just give you the one normal 1 month structure. We'll also include another 2 entire months completely free. Okay. Additionally, since you took the time to be here and have watched this far, when you join us, we will give you our Combat Fitness High Speed Edition No Equipment Workout Plan and our best-selling book, Combat Mindset, The Guide to Mental Toughness, completely free. So that means you're getting 2 whole extra months, which would normally be triple the price of low-volume, high-efficiency run training, our entire collection of bodyweight exercises that you can do literally anywhere, and our best-selling book completely free. Then we thought, okay, what else could these guys use? What else would be super beneficial to our athletes? So we have a brand new strength program called Combat Lifting, which pairs perfectly with your running program. It's, I think, $129 on our website right now, but you can add it to your order for a massive discount today only. But I know what you might be thinking, though. What if I join and for whatever reason this program doesn't work for me? So that's why on top of all this, we want to include our total performance guarantee for free. This means if you get 4 weeks into your training and find it's not working for you for whatever reason, we will refund you, no questions asked. Okay? Not only that, but we will continue training you for free until you reach your goals. Additionally, as if that isn't enough, you will get lifetime 24 access to our athlete support team, again, for free. Are you guys getting this? There is zero starting risk. Okay, we're only able to make guarantees like this because we have thousands of repetitions to have proven to ourselves and to our athletes that what we do works every single time. So today, because you're on the webinar, you can get 3 whole months of structured, done for you LVHE training, an 8-week lifting program, our entire collection of bodyweight workouts, our guide to mental toughness, our total performance guarantee, and lifetime access to our athlete support team. This is something like a combined value of, I think, around $754, if you can even put a monetary value on all that. We've spent years crafting this into a science. Like if I told you we could have you at the highest level of fitness you've ever been in your life, in fantastic shape with long-lasting results, never having to struggle with physically demanding tasks again, and never having to search for the right program again, and being able to generate a massive aerobic engine and lactate threshold, all while only running a few times, would you not agree that that's worth much more than $754 or whatever it is? Yeah, let's see a few of you commenting. Yeah, exactly. Okay, but again, spoiler alert, this was supposed to come up as a second click, but we're not charging you that. Today only, since you're on the webinar, you can get all of this, everything I just mentioned, for just $139 once. That's it. This is the be-all, end-all. You will never again have to spend time looking for the right running program. You won't have to watch countless YouTube videos telling you 1,000 different things. This is it. Tried and tested, guaranteed results, or we train you for free. For literally $139, you can get 3 entire months of low-volume, high-efficiency running, all of our bodyweight fitness workouts, Combat Mindset, The Guide to Mental Toughness, our total performance guarantee, lifetime access to our support team, and a screaming deal on our newest lifting program. We have people every single day who go to our website and buy all these products for the full price. But you can get all this today for just $139, plus lifetime support and our total performance guarantee. Okay, the way I see it now is you have 2 options. So the first option is you just keep doing what you're doing and not join Combat Fitness, which is fine by me. My life won't change. This is 100% risk-free to you. You know, there's no risk in you not joining. But the problem is that we just spent like almost 20 minutes together, and you've gone through this whole process, and you know that this is the vehicle you need to change your fitness and change your life. You wouldn't be here in the first place if you knew you didn't need to change something. We've talked about this. You feel that way. I feel that way as well. So that's your first option. You can leave here today and nothing will change. You'll be on the same path, doing the same things that don't work that you're doing before you came here. But again, I don't think we're wired that way. I think we're much more determined individuals than the average person, and we know that when change is required, we're the ones who take action. So there's your second option. Take the jump today and just try it out. Again, we will never charge you for something that doesn't work. Our total performance guarantee states that if you get 4 weeks in and it's not working, we will refund you, no questions asked. Okay, whether you join today or don't, won't change my life at all. It won't change any of our lives here. We'll still be going to the same gyms, doing the same runs, eating the same food, building programs and training athletes. That's what we do. It won't change a bit for us. But this will change your life. Don't take my word for it, though. Just try it out. And if it's not working for you, again, for whatever reason, try it for 4 weeks. If it doesn't work, we'll refund you, no questions asked. What we do works, but our money-back guarantee is always there if you need it. So don't make the decision now. Make it in 4 or 5 weeks. All you have to decide right now is, do I think this might work for me? And if you think it might work for you, then get started. Hit that button and just try it. There's no risk at all. And let me know in 4 or 5 weeks.